In 1890, a township was surveyed with a square grid plan. South Australia's governor named the new town Hopetoun, after his friend Lord Hopetoun, the Governor of Victoria. This name was ignored completely by the local people, and 2 years later the town was regazetted Inaminka after the nearby cattle station.
This is where I stayed overnight. As I was saying last night, got to Inaminka after quite a trip. It's about 31 kilometres from the Queensland border. 75 cents a litre at this particular trading post. Got to pay it, it's the only place you can get anything. Damage that was done to my exhaust, the work I'd had done at Tibooburra was all wasted. Got the bloke that lives in this particular house to fix it for me.
In 1885, the original Inaminka Hotel was licensed. The only reminder of that hotel is the remains of a pile of old bottles that I believe was once much larger, until the Cooper flooded in the 1970s and washed most of them away. In 1929, John Flynn instigated the building of the Australian Inland Mission and called it the Elizabeth Simon Nursing Home.
This building here was used as a hospital quite a few years. I think it was last used in 1951.
The following year, the Flying Doctor Service concluded that the needs of the Inaminka district could be met by air, which led to the closure of the Australian Inland Mission Nursing Home. I believe in 1994, the ruins of the Australian Inland Mission building became the regional park headquarters when it was reconstructed within the original concrete walls. At the end of the Second World War, Inaminka faded away to a population of only 5. In 1972, a syndicate built the new hotel and store at Inaminka, and tourism has dominated the local economy ever since. Later, I made my way to Burke's Marker, which lies about 8 kilometres out of town on the banks of the Cooper Creek. Because of the reported bad roads out to the Digtree, I couldn't reach his last depot. Actually, on this trip, Burke's Marker was the only site relating to the expedition I managed to see. For me, this was an emotional experience due to the fact that I knew the story well. The country he explored from here at Inaminka to the Gulf of Carpentaria in Queensland helped future development of the cattle industry. This marker is next to the tree where he died. His actual grave is in Melbourne. On my 1992 journey to this area, the weather was much better and my efforts to visit the other sites were more successful. I have dedicated a number of future episodes detailing the Burke and Wills narrative, especially this stretch of the Cooper where the story of the expedition played out in 1861. Later that day, I made my way across the concrete causeway to my campsite.
This is the track I drove up to get to my camping spot. It's not far from Inaminka. I've relocated a lot of the things on top of the pack rack because the pack rack was really paying the penalty of these rough roads. So the only things I've got on the pack rack now are just the 2 tyres. Everything else is inside.
That night it rained as I sheltered in my tent on the northern side of the Cooper. I made my way across the Cooper via the causeway just north of town to investigate the local points of interest.